Welcome to Betwixt and Between. Before we continue, we admit to using the work of a madman. The events and characters in this tale are fictitious, and not to be confused with the actual events. That being said, we hope you enjoy. And, thank you.
Once, an important young boy in a small island village resided along the shore. He and his father lived in a single shack on the opposite side of the island. The boy had to cross a great distance from the village back home when fetching food and goods. Each trip would bring new dangers and amazing sight. The primary job of young Jarrell and his father Kay was to care for the sick and the cursed. Most of the sick would be cured and cared for, while those who had been cursed might suffer at the hands of fate. The witches of the forest had lived on the island as long as the village had been. Kay would call them uncivilized spirits, only to look deeply saddened by this cold name. A night before, Jarrell had awoken to hear what sounded like two people speaking. His father was speaking to a witch who spoke sweetly. "When will you tell the boy he is different?" Kay abruptly spoke in loud whispers. "Never! If I can help it, he will learn the ways to help others. I wish him to find a way to heal you. I know I cannot, but our son has greater power than I—" The woman's eyes grew dark as she spoke. "It will come to pass that one day the boy will find his mother. Then he will know." She turned into a crow and flew back to the wood that covered the center of the island. Jarrell rushed back into bed and tried to sleep. The thoughts that plagued his mind would stick as he fell into a deep slumber. Jarrell dreamt of a great forest that would stretch on into forever, and at its center stood a dark spirit. The dark spirit stood tall and spoke loudly. "One day you will know the truth and strike a deal like your mother has." The dark figure turned and walked into the shadows, and Jarrell woke to a beautiful bright morning. Kay looked over to his son and smiled, just as Jarrell did from the heavenly smell of his father's breakfast. A small thing to some, but on this island it was nearly a year before anyone would have pork. The eggs were abundant, but no one knew how the animals came to be on the island. The single male who had the courage to face the dark woods was Jarrell's father. When he was a very young boy, smaller than his son, he was the first to find a pig. His father was in a desperate search for Kay, and there were no men without fear of the woods. It would steal away many women from the village and take Kay's mother. Kay would vow to his father with tears in his eyes, "Father, this curse has taken my mother and your sister. I promise to you that I will break this curse and heal our people." Jarrell knew this story well, as his mother left them to the shadows of the woods a few days after he was born. His father would tell this story and teach Jarrell to heal and show great courage. Though Jarrell was young, he felt deep in himself that this was what he was meant to be. The morning broke into a storm as the end of breakfast came. The clouds grew dark, and Jarrell found courage to ask, "Father, I woke last night to hear people speaking. It sounded like a woman. Was I dreaming?" To this, Kay was unable to speak and nearly choked on the last bit of pork. Yes, son. You must have been dreaming, as I was of your mother. We have the ability to share our dreams." A stern look came over young Jarrell. "And why were you angry at Mother? Did she do something wrong?" Kay grew pale from such questions. The thought that his beloved wife would have done something wrong in his son's eyes might have broken the strength in his resolve. "No, son. Your mother knew what she was doing, and even with my heart breaking as she left, I could not stop her. I loved her with all of my being. She was perfect." A tear then grew short in Kay's eye. "The witches of the wood are not bad women. They have only chosen a deal with the King of Shadows. Some say it is to keep the village safe. Others speak of the alluring powers beyond. Now let us get ready." Jarrell saw the pain in his father. He stopped his line of questions. His father stood, pushed his chair in, and grabbed his pack. "Today is the birth of Mael, and we must be there to keep her mother safe from the King of Shadows."
We hope you enjoyed this short story. If so, we hope you will subscribe and like our video to ensure we make more. If you'd like more from this story, please leave a comment indicating so. You may now resume normal life.